Hey Baz, you always talk about how AI changes things, but what about decentralization? What is it, and why do we need it?
Hey Divya, that's a great question. Decentralization is becoming super important, especially in social media. Let's talk about how it works in general. It's a really interesting concept. Imagine a social media platform where you're not locked into one company's rules. That's what decentralization aims for. It's about giving users more control, interoperability, and transparency. It's built on a federated protocol for large-scale distributed social applications. Being federated means that different groups can run parts of the system and still communicate with each other. Think of email. Gmail, Yahoo, and Outlook are different providers, but they can still send emails to each other. No single company owns email. That's the idea behind decentralized social media. The main goal is to break the control of a single corporation over user data, moderation policies, and content discovery algorithms. Decentralized platforms let users keep their identity, move accounts, and customize their experience.
So, it's like I'm not locked into one platform.
Exactly. The design allows users to engage without platform control. It's growing in popularity.
Okay, but why is this decentralization so important?
That's a key question. For years, social media platforms have been controlled by big corporations. They make the rules, control the algorithms, and decide what you see. This often happens without transparency. If they change policies or ban you, there's not much you can do. This lack of control over personal data and content moderation has led to a push for decentralized social networks. But many existing decentralized platforms have problems.
Like what?
It's built on a federated protocol which has several key components. First, there are personal data servers, PDS. Each user has a repository with their posts, likes, follows, etc. Every action creates a new record in this repository, which is cryptographically signed for data integrity. The PDS manages these repositories and authentication. It's like your agent in the network.
So, it's like a big search engine for the whole network.
Exactly. Different groups can run their own relays, allowing for diverse indexing strategies. Finally, there are app views. They process data from relays and generate structured feeds that you see in your client. They also store aggregated statistics and enforce moderation policies.
So I run my own server?
Not necessarily. Like email, you can sign up for a PDS hosted by a provider. But advanced users can self-host their PDS. Then there are relays. They act as network-wide content aggregators, creating a global index of posts and social connections. They crawl all known PDSs and filter out spam.
So, I can choose how my feed looks?
Yes. Unlike traditional platforms, decentralized platforms allow multiple competing app views. Here's how it all works together. You write a post, it's stored in your PDS, and the PDS pushes updates to a relay. App views query the relay and generate feeds. When someone likes or replies, their PDS creates a record, which is sent to the relay and updates the global index. Decentralized platforms also give you control over your identity with decentralized identifiers, DIDs. These are cryptographic identifiers that uniquely represent you across the network. They remain the same even if you switch providers.
So, I can move my account without losing followers.
Exactly. You export your repository and update your DID to point to the new PDS. Your followers don't need to refollow you. Security and privacy are also important. DIDs are cryptographically linked to your identity so they can't be forged. You also have a recovery key in case of a breach. Content discovery is handled by relays, which index and distribute posts. And app views let you choose how content is ranked and displayed.
What about moderation?
Decentralized platforms allow multiple independent moderation services, called labelers. They tag content with labels, which app views and users can use to apply filters. Users can also block individuals and subscribe to block lists. This is called separation of speech and reach. You can post anything, but moderation services decide how it appears in feeds and searches.
Okay, I think I get it. So, decentralized platforms are trying to give users more control. Thanks, Baz. This makes a lot of sense now.
Exactly. It's a major step forward in social networking. The future will depend on user adoption, innovation, and improvements to the underlying protocols.